Alright, turn 6. There was a battle in Anvast. As you can see, the undisciplined Bakamano go forward and take the brunt of the Knight's charge. The Knights have a lance, which gives a charge bonus on the first strike. This happened now, so they're not going to kill these guys as easily. And the Prophet is entangling them with Word of Thorns. Which means that Shinuyama can actually do reasonably well against mounted units like these. Meanwhile, they also defeated the light infantry, or is it militia? No, it's actually militia. So the only thing left is these light cavalry. These can actually be really nasty in large groups because they have the short bows and my guys have no shields. But there's only a few of them, so that's over quite quickly and they just run away. Now there was also a battle in Varan. Here it's also knights. Unfortunately I don't have anyone left here to catch any lances, so we're just gonna do it with these guys. The advantage is that we have quite a few of them. So the knights charge in, kill a few Bakamano, and then they get completely overwhelmed. These light infantry arrive by the time that the knights are dead, so that's why I deployed in the back. And now they're just gonna slowly walk over to the light cavalry and chop it down. Yeah. They decided to run. Even better. Alright, in other news, after we took Varan, there was an event in Varan. A local wizard has been lynched after allegations of turning a peasant into a frog. His magical resources have been transported to the lab. So we got 12 gems for free, which is also always nice. This is a really good thing about log scale. There is no other way to get free gems like this. And there was a event in Verdant Steppe. A handful of gems have been found in a hot valley. And we got 2 fire gems. Pretty nice. If you have Luck Tree, you get a lot of free gold, free gems, free items, heroes that join your cause. Sometimes you get lucky and it improves other skills. There's a lot of good events and there's a lot of bad events that do not happen if your luck score is over a certain amount. So this is actually why I'm putting one province defense in a lot of provinces, because the chances of a bad event taking a province from me is really low. And I'd rather spend my gold on other things like getting my fort a turn early. Now, the prophet, Goku, he's moving over here so he can preach. So hopefully we can push Pangea's domain away. Because they already have their dominion here, and I think the prophet is here, but there was no battle, so I can't see. We're gonna have to deal with that. We're gonna have to go to war with them pretty soon, but before that I'd like to at least set myself up as well as possible. And Toru is gonna take all of these troops and just continue on. This is just archers, heavy infantry, and militia. I hope it's not too many archers because I could actually lose this. But his other options are here, which is mainly deer tribe archers. And as I explained before, these guys are not very good against archers. I'd rather wait until I have a lot of these. These are really good against archers because their armor is too much for a short bow damage. They have longbows, which are a lot better than short bows. They have high strength, which adds to longbow damage. And when the enemy walks up to them, they have a 26 damage sword. So either way is good for them. But they are really expensive. 25 gold per. And then Masatsune. I should rename him so I don't have to keep trying to pronounce that. He's gonna try and capture Florian. Now, from the looks of it, it's militias, heavy cavalry and light cavalry, so something like what we fought here. Here he... oh, that's the wrong button. He lost 8 dudes and he had 53, so if it's similar he can take this one as well. Which should put us reasonably close to Pangea. Hopefully we can build a fort here and then use that as a staging point for attacks onto Pangea. Right. Other than that, I am not recruiting any new troops because I don't have the money. I am recruiting another Uba. The Ubas have a 25% chance to get Nature 2, and I want Nature 2 because I want Nature Gems. And site searching with a Nature 2 gives you a lot more sites than site searching with a Nature 1. That's it. See you in turn 7. It's turn 7. There have been 2 battles, one in Green Harbor. Still one down here. And it's relatively straightforward, I think. So my little archers run forward and take a few shots at these. They actually did damage. Surprising, given they are armed with short bows. And then these guys just chop them down. These are real heroes. And then the enemy just breaks and runs away. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Lost 3 guys. Took down 62. It's because most of them are militia. And militia are really bad. They don't have a shield. Oh no, they do have a shield. They only have a spear other than that and some really crappy equipment. I think there's another type of militia without shield. They've grabbed morale. So as soon as their squad takes enough casualties, they get morale checks and the entire squad starts running. Then, because they're running, the other guys on the field get morale checks, and even though these heavy infantry have reasonable morale, they still get morale checks and they just have to roll under ones and then they also run. And then, because there are so many guys already running, the archers will also run. So, let's get rid of that. It's very efficient expansion, I'd say. These guys are really cheap, so I think I paid 21 gold to take this province. And then there's the other battle in Florian. Let's have a look at that. So I thought same deal as last time, but that's a lot of knights. 11 to be precise. So these guys get charged by 11 knights, while these light cavalry are also shooting at them. And they take a lot of casualties. These knights just deleted the square of them. But they hold. And they fight the knights. But not quickly enough, and here comes the militia swarm. Yeah, now my guys get swarmed by the enemy instead of going the other way around. These knights are still alive. The commander is trying to get in there. Very heroically. These are actually really good at fighting, but I don't want to lose my commander. So I don't put him in the front line during this stage. And then he gets killed. These guys run away and that's it. It's a shame, but... yeah. Remember how last turn on the map it said 30 dudes? This is a little bit more than 30 dudes, but... that's what you get. It turned out to be 56 dudes. And 11 knights. These counter reports you get can be off by 50%. So 50% of the actual amount. So that was unfortunate. No other events, but I guess no news is good news. So yeah, then we have to deal with this. Meanwhile, we find out we're neighboring Abyssia, which is their capital's here. So this cave is not going to be ours anytime soon, which is too bad because caves are good as Shinuyama, but we're not getting this one, we're not getting this one. We're definitely not getting this one anytime soon. Could probably get this one after we have defeated Pangea, if that works out. Now, the one silver lining to this battle is that the Shuchundoi that died had a difficult to pronounce name, so I'm not gonna have to deal with that anymore. Yeah, this guy, Freightborn, he's still building the palisade, 3 months remaining. Toru won this battle. Now I'm sending Toru back to the capital. I put the movement distance on, so with his army he has a map movement of 10. With Control M you can show the... is it Control M? I thought it was. No, apparently not. You can see the movement distance to another province. So he can go here in 1 turn for 8 from here. And here I'm recruiting basically some reinforcements to his army. The next turn he's gonna go over here. Here I'm recruiting some militia to take the lancers from the knights. And then I'm going into Florian again because I really want this province. Goku's preaching. I would like to know... I would like some more Dominion here. This scout is going over here to see if this is Pangea or this is Pangea. Then this scout's going into Abyssia, but I already said so. This scout is going into High Mill, where the throne is. And then up here, because I want to know who is here and how soon we're going to meet them. So yeah, it looks like this is what my borders are going to be like. And then we're going to fight Pangea. Unless one of the others attacks me earlier, but I don't expect them to. Still no nature Uba. So we're recruiting one more. And in Green Harbor, which is quite a nice province, 15,000 people, I am recruiting an independent commander so he can build here a fort next turn. Okay, that was turn 7. See you in turn 8. Turn 8. Not much happened. We got research in construction completed, which normally would be quite nice, but we have no nature gems. So the things I wanna make I can't make yet. An unexpected event in Yavast. 360 gold, look at that. A pirate ship has been discovered and the cargo has been confiscated. This is why high luck is really nice. You just early on already you get these gold boosts. This means I can afford a lot. So I am building a palisade here, which costs 600. Then I am recruiting a Bakemono sorcerer already, which costs almost 400 extra. Kenichi is gonna move to the Vern Step, where a fort will be completed in 2 turns. He can go build a laboratory there, so we can recruit more Uba. We're gonna do the same in Green Harbor soon, but that fort takes still 4 months. Then Toru is gonna move over to Varan, where he is gonna pick up, let's see, some militia. Goku is gonna move back to Shinuyama, because we are recruiting some of these Dai Bakemono with longbows. He's gonna pick those up and he's gonna try to take Walden. Now, Walden has 40 Dare Tribe or more, which looks dangerous, but these guys do not care about Dare Tribe. So next turn we're gonna start another attack on Florine. I am also recruiting scouts in Varan. I didn't know I could, but it turns out I can. And yeah, I am sending one of my scouts from the Baron Krijgs to here, so I can keep an eye on Pythium. If they're about to attack me, I'd like some advanced warning. Now, our scout here in Highmail found that our northwestern neighbor is Nazca, and I am not very happy about that. Nazca can be really scary. Alright, that is it for turn 8. See you in turn 9. It is turn 9. Not much happened this time, only our research and alteration was completed. We're now moving on to level 3. Level 3 will give us Moss Body, which is quite interesting for some purposes. Alright. So Toru has picked up some militia here, which are gonna go bother the cavalry. And then with 50 of these, he's gonna move in and hopefully take the province this time. We found out that Nazca lives here, so they're pretty close. I'm moving some spies and shuffling down here, so I can also keep an eye on Nazca. Other than that, I am moving Goku into here with an army of archers. There's only 13 of them, which is not a lot, but I think it's enough. Other than that, Kenichi is building a lab here, so next turn we can start building mages out of the fort. That will also be finished. Then Shuichi is gonna sneak into Karnak to keep an eye on them. Yeah, other than that, not much happened this turn. So this was turn 9. See you in turn 10. It is turn 10. So there was a battle in Florian again. Let's have a look what happens this time. So the knights charge again. 5 of them died last time, so that's 5 less to worry about. Very inaccurate exchange of arrows. And then the knights run into the militia. The militia do their job and then they flee. And then the knights get completely surrounded by my commander. I do think these Pokemon are excellent against things like knights, but they do need to outnumber them. Now only the light cavalry is left and they're... well... they are seriously outnumbered and they're just exchanging some arrows with these Pokemon archers. That's about it. So, this time I take 11 losses. Last time I lost my entire army. There's some luck involved. The militias in the right formation definitely helped. The fact that 5 of the knights died last time definitely helped, but when you win or lose a battle, the amount of casualties is very different, as you can see. The construction of the palisade in verdant steps was complete. This is great. And we got a famous hero. This is Toru, who was commanding the battle. Unfortunately, his heroic ability is Tough Skin. And because of the way protection works, it either takes this value or this value, depending which is higher. Now, if your opponent has a magical weapon, it will always take natural protection because invulnerability, this comes from invulnerability, does nothing against magical weapons. But the chances of him running into something with a magical weapon are extremely low. And if that happens, it's probably something really strong, and then 4 protection is not going to do much to help him. So this ability will probably do nothing the entire game. Alright, so that was the battle. Now next up, Goku is going into these. I considered going into these and cutting off Abyssia. But even though I don't exactly know how the AI works, I think it's more likely to attack you if you do stuff like that. So I'm not going to. I want somebody else to fight Abyssia because they have heat auras. I have a heat dominion, which makes their here you can see middle of winter, it's warm here, which makes the heat auras more powerful. So my dominion synergizes with their heat aura. So if they could be fighting someone else, I would be very happy about that. I'd much rather fight Pangea. And Toru is gonna move on and fight these Ichthyids. I believe he can win against these. We got a new spy, Augustinus. He's gonna move here and build the fortress. Fredborn is upgrading the fortress because a level 2 fortress will recruit commanders twice as fast. This will take 2 turns. In these 2 turns we'll get 1 Uba. The capital also recruit an Uba. We got our Bakuman Sorcerer. This is not the thing I hoped for. I hoped for either Earth Tree or Dead Tree, or even Fire Tree would have been good, but he got Water 2, which is mediocre, but he can go and side search here. Well, at least side search a lot of places for 2 in 4 paths, which is quite good. And other than that, I'm still hoping for Nature Uba. Since this fort finishes in 2 turns, I am moving Matsatsugu over to build a lab here next turn, and then we'll do the same as here, which in a few turns will put us at 3 mages per turn. Once these have been upgraded, then we'll build a fortress here. That will put us at 4 mages per turn, which is plenty of mages, I think. So yeah, 2 fights next turn. Still recruiting these archers because they're quite good. Now, if we are not fighting Abyssia, I am gonna wanna recruit a whole lot of these little archers out of here sometime in the future. Research enchantment 4, and then we get these really cheap 5 gold archers because I'm recruiting them in a mountain, and they will each have an additional 8 armor piercing fire damage because of the flaming arrows. That should do a lot of damage against Pangea, because the only buff they could cast is Wooden Warriors, which gives 5 fire vulnerability. So once they catch fire, they will just burn down completely. Now, these are AIs, so they're not that smart to build a lot of White Centaur, but Flaming Arrows could, I think, be a decent counter to White Centaur, if they had them. Alright, that is it for turn 10. See you in turn 11. Alright, turn 11. This is going to be the last one for this video, because otherwise it's going to be running way too long. First there's a battle in Ashington, but this is just a Bakamano scout finding out that there's 58 barbarians over here. I am not walking into that anytime soon, although Bakamano Show will do reasonably well against them if we outnumber them, but still, why bother? Then there was a battle in Walden. This is where Goku is bringing these archers. Now I think you're going to see why I like them. First of all, their ranged fire actually hurts things. So I die there. And when they get hit with arrows, they hardly ever care. Then these light infantry trying to walk in here. Throw some javelins. Javelins usually do a lot more damage than short bows, but still, don't care. Goku casting some holy spells, always fun. And then they try to fight them with the spears, which doesn't work, and they get hit by their own archers, because, well, that happens when you make a formation like this. So they just take their big Japanese swords and just chop these guys down. Then they continue to shoot the archers. Still, I think I haven't lost a single one yet. So this goes on for a little bit, and the archers run away. So yeah, 0 losses. 48 deer tried dead. And then there's a battle in Great Pharaoh. This is the Ichthyids, I believe. So we have the archers going around. I can't script them, they're indisciplined. Taking a few pot shots at the Ichthyids. These are one of the few units that you actually do something against with a short bow, because they have a protection of 5, which 5 is not enough to protect you against anything. That's already one dead Ichthyid. And they throw their nets, which is usually very annoying. But because these guys are size 1 and these are size 2, it's always 3 against 6, so if they net a few, it doesn't really matter that much. And yeah, they run off when we end up against the armored Ictiots. The armored Ictiots have a protection of 13, which is, well, it's 8 better. But no nets and same crappy stone spears. So yeah, that's an easy one. And they run away. Then there's an unexpected event. And this one actually made me look far below it. So, Bakemono Shaman got wounded because he drank the wrong elixir. Okay, whatever. He's a Bakemono Shaman. He already did his job by building the lab. It would be a shame to lose him, but not a big deal. Oh, I looked at him, and he doesn't have a wound. And then I looked further, and it said shrunken. But he is already size 1. So you can't go below size 1. So that did absolutely nothing. I get a bad event and nothing happens. Okay. Very nice. I'm gonna send a scout into this province to attack because I want to know exactly how many troops are with this throne. It says 90, but that could mean... well, that could mean 180 or 60. Or anything in between. I'm also sending this scout to this throne because I want to know what's here as well. Provinces with such a big army, you want to know what's there. Toru is going to walk all the way back. Because I don't want to start a fight with Nazca. This throne is actually going to keep Nazca away from me for a little while, which will make the chance of them attacking me about 0. The Augustinus is building a palisade, and Masatsugu is building a lab, and the palisade here is going to be finished next turn. So same deal as here. We're going to be making a lot of Uba for the early part of this game. Goku is walking back to Green Harbor because I don't want to push into these. It's not that he couldn't take them, he probably could. But as I've seen, I made a very good decision in not going in here because we would have run into Abyssian infantries, human brats and salamanders, and we would have died. 70 of them with salamanders, with Spitfire. No thank you. Maybe we can go fight the barbarians, but it is 40 of them. So maybe not, I'm not sure. Actually, and I'm only thinking of this now, I'm gonna get send Kinsu into the barbarians to see how many they actually are. Alright. That's pretty much it for turn 11. Which finishes the first year.